The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, come up upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in the times of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon his rock. And now shall my head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me, and answer me. When thou saidest, seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, Lord, will I seek. Hide not thy face far from me. Put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast been my help. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O God of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me, when the Lord will take up on me, teach me thy way. O Lord, lead me in the plain path because of my enemies. Deliver me not unto thee, will of my enemies, for false witness are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Selah and Selah. Amen. Peace, brethren and guests. For those who don't know me, I am Teacher Matthew. And today, I have some very, very, very important information to share with you. Information that has been passed down to me, and it's time for me to share it with you. Through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I have acquired in this Israelite nation worldwide ministries, it is now time for me to share what I have learned in this book, the book belonging to my people, the Israelites. Now, when I talk about my people, the Israelites, what do you think comes to mind? And feel free to put it in the chat as I share my thoughts. When I think of Israel, when I think of the children of Israel, when I think of Israelites, I think of family, I think of unity, I think of a community. I think of people that I can depend on, especially when I need a helping hand. People I can go to for advice. People that I could depend on. But most importantly, when I think of Israel, I think of all the times that my brothers and sisters, we have come together with my aunties and uncles, my elders. We come together and praise and worship our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in one accord. Wow. Just talking about this sounds so great, doesn't it? Knowing that I have generations of great people by my side. And even thinking about and talking about all this, even it makes me reminisce and think about the times where the children of Israel were led out of the land of their captivities through the might and the strength of our fathers. Now, it all sounds great, but not everything was smooth sailing. Things didn't work the way that they were supposed to. And that's why I am here today. I am here today, one, to admit our errors, our mistakes, our disobedience, and two, to make sure that we don't ever do this again. These mistakes, they had major consequences. So, this leads me to my topic of spiritual sellout. Some of you at home might even think, what does this even mean? What is a spiritual sellout? Well, let me put it into simpler terms. Let's think of it as betrayal. I would like to get things started by going to Exodus chapter 20. Please, if you could get your Bibles at home, wherever you are, or you could just listen along. And I'll do my best to also explain to you what I am reading. But listen and pay attention. Exodus chapter 20. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Sorry. Now, before I get into all this, let me backtrack a little bit for you. So the section that I'm going to read here, this is after the fact that the children of Israel had crossed the land of Egypt. They have crossed the Red Sea. They have escaped their captivities. You know, they're in the land of the wilderness. Okay, let me continue. Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Do I have to explain this part? I don't think so. It's clear what it says. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So to explain this part, again, it goes by saying we shouldn't have any gods, we shouldn't have any other gods unto this God of Israel, right? And any graven images. So when you're talking about graven images, we're talking about things that has been carved out that we're going to pray against, and, you know, idols and stuff like that. Let me continue. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God. Let me say that again. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Brethren, so our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has let us know that he is a jealous God. So to do anything of that sort, praying to other gods, you already know that is going to hurt his heart. He is not going to like that. Verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days shall labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in the 6 days the Lord has made heaven and earth, and sea, and all that in them is rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So, just to iterate on everything that I've said, the God of Israel has given us instructions to keep a day holy unto him, which is the 7th day, and he called it the Sabbath day. Let me continue. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. I just want to pause there for a second, because you might hear this particular word come up a few times. And that word is neighbor. Now, mind you, the neighbor of those times is not the same neighbor of today. I say this because the true neighbor is family. Some of you might be sitting there today thinking, oh, what is this guy talking about? Let me further iterate. When the children of Israel crossed the Red Sea, they crossed as a family. The law, statutes, and commandments that I've read here, I haven't finished them all, but the ones that I've read here, they were given to the children of Israel. And who are they? They are a family. So when we talk about thy neighbor, we are not talking about the Christian that lives next door. Let me continue. Where was I? Verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Again, remember, that same neighbor that I was talking to you about. We're talking about our family, our brethren. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Again, we see that word time and time again. Thy neighbors. We're talking about my family, the Israelites. Not talking about your next door neighbor, Bob, down the street, right? Verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. I'm reading this. If I seen all that, I know for sure I'll be scared. I'll be like, what's going on here? I don't want to fight or argue with anyone. Tell me what it is, and I'll follow it. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye not sin. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. Now, reading this, we've seen the same words again. The God of Israel clearly does not want us to be worshiping anyone else but him. And he has to make it clear. He doesn't care how you might make it. If you make it of gold, if you make it of silver. You shall not make gods of silver, neither shall you make gods of gold. It says it right here. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thy oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. Hewn. What is hewn? From my understanding of hewn, it is a stone that has been carved out, a stone that has been tampered with. Let me reread that section again. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou liftest up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. See what I said? Hewn stone, a stone that has been carved or an image has been placed on it. It has been polluted. We don't want that. We want a natural stone, a stone that you just found off the ground. The God of Israel just wants you to worship him and be his people and follow his instructions, his law, statutes, and commandments. Some of them I've read here. And this is also a perfect chapter to read, especially when we have our time, our holy month of Abib. We have Abib coming up, and it is special and important to us because it has been commanded to us and instructed to us by the God of Israel to keep the Passover holy and even keep the feast of the unleavened bread. Boy, I can't wait. Even if we continue to read Exodus chapter 21, 22, 23, you will further see more instructions that were given unto my people, the children of Israel. Brethren, I just quickly want to jump to Exodus chapter 24. Now, as I'm going to Exodus 24, I want us to think about the times where, you felt good talking or praying to the God of Israel. Thinking about all the instructions that were given unto you that you had to follow, and that you're just proud to serve this God because you've seen the mights that he has done. He's brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. You've seen the plagues that he's done and how he dealt with Pharaoh. Oh my gosh. This is a mighty and powerful God of Israel. All right. Exodus 24. I'm going to start at verse 3. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord has said, we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord and rose up early in the morning and builded an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled it on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord has said, will we do and be obedient? Let me read that again for you, in case you missed it. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord has said will we do and be obedient. Come on now. It's almost like, I don't even want to say it's almost like. This to me seems like we have just swore an oath unto the God of Israel. We swore an oath unto the God of Israel. Let me continue. One more verse. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord had made with you concerning all these words. So yes, this is the confirmation, right? Brethren and guests, based on some of the scriptures that I've read here for you today, I understand this to be very similar to house rules. You know, when let's say you're growing up, I'm sure most of us had our house rules. There were things that we weren't allowed to do. And even now, you might have your own house now, and you have your own rules that you want your children to follow, things that they're not allowed to do, things that they can do. Well, this is very similar, and I'd like to compare it a little bit. But what happens now when you break those rules? When you don't follow the rules that were given to you? How would your parents have felt? How would you feel if they were broken? Let me give you some examples. So, your brother, who you love so much, he has his brand new car. And then someone comes and offers one of your other brothers some money, a large sum of money, to go steal your brother's car and take it away from him. And let's say your brother finds out that you did that. How would he feel? Betrayed? Disheartened? He would not be happy. He would not be happy. He would be sad. He would be upset. He would lose trust. He probably wouldn't even want to look at you again, because how could you do this to me? It's the same way with house rules. You break house rules, there's consequences. You might even lose some trust, because how do I know you're not going to do this again? Now, time and time again, we see these same things in the Bible, where my people have betrayed the God of Israel, or even betrayed one another. We could even think about Joseph, when him and his brothers, where his brothers sold him to slavery. You know what? Let's go to Genesis. Genesis 37. And Jacob dwelt in a land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren. And the lad was with the sons of Bala and with the sons of Zeph, his father's wives, and Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peacefully unto him. So when we see brethren, he's talking about his brothers, right? His siblings, his family, people that were close to him. Let me continue. And Joseph dreamed the dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet and more, and said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheaf. So he's there explaining his dream to his brothers, and it makes it seem that his brothers were more looking up to him. And his brethren said to him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? Mind you, he's the younger brother, right? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. Wow, that's so cruel. All because he's a special one. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon, and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and his brethren. And his father rebuked him, and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth? Now, you could only imagine how Joseph might feel. He has a dream. His dream seems so significant, and he wants to share it with his family. Because, it's very symbolic to him. So he shares it, and now everyone's asking questions of him. What do you think of this? Why would you dream that? It's like he could control it. Let me continue. And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying. So once again, his brothers did not like this. They never liked him from the start because they seen him as the favorite. They didn't like that he was getting all this attention. He's dreaming all these dreams. They're jealous. You can see that they're jealous. Their ego is broken. They're thinking badly now. Verse 12. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, Do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, Here am I. And he said to him, Go, I pray thee, see whither it be well with thy brethren, and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks. So Joseph is going out. He's going to find his brothers to go help out. Doesn't matter how they might feel about him. He still wants to help. He still wants to be with his older siblings. He wants to feed the flocks. So he's adventuring, and he's going to go find them. Verse 17. And the man said, They are departed hence, for I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren, and found them in Dothan. So he found his siblings, of course. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. Wow, how spiteful. How could you hate your family so much that this is what you want to do? Conspire to slay your own brethren, your own brother, your own blood. Man, it's very sickening. And they said one to another, behold, his dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit, and we will say, some evil beast hath devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. Now, this, I don't know. This couldn't be me. I could never even think about hurting my siblings, my brethren, any one of my family members, all because they were better than me or they were favored more than I was. I couldn't do that. That's wickedness. Let's continue. Verse 21. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. Of course, there's always that one sibling that is going to stop this. A little bit more sensible than the others. But was he that sensible? Let's find out. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast them into the pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him. So it's almost like they're bullying him now. They took his coat, the coat that his father made, the bright, colorful coat, and they threw him into the pit. 24. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead, with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content. Oh, man. This is very, just reading this, it gets very emotional, because how can you do something like this to your own sibling? Someone who is of your blood, your family member. I'm going to read one more verse before I carry on. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. This is sickening. And what I see this as betrayal by someone so close. How can you do such a thing? Someone who you love. This is betrayal. This is a sellout. How could you do that? Now, I'm not going to talk too much about Joseph, but I want us to understand that betrayal can only come from within. How can I further explain this? Your enemies cannot betray you, can they? Because they're your enemies. You already don't like each other. They have nothing to do with your household. They have nothing to do with your family. But betrayal comes from within. Betrayal comes from your family. It comes from the people that you love or the people that you are with for so long. Okay. That is just one example of betrayal. And I would like for us to also open up our books to Exodus chapter 32. As I'm coming here to 32, I just want us to continue to think about the wickedness and continue to think about what it is to betray someone and why it is just, we should just remove that from our thoughts. We shouldn't even have that desire in us to betray another family member. Okay, Exodus 32. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, and the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. Okay. I know I jumped into this scripture really quick without any context. But this is basically going off of what I was reading earlier in Exodus 20. So, the children of Israel, they're still in the land. They're not in the land of their captivities, but they are still in the wilderness. They've been there for quite some time now. You know, they've had instructions. They've had their commandments read to them. They were following all these things. And Moses, he went away for a little while. And eventually, it seems like the children of Israel, they lost hope of some sort. So let me reread the first verse. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. Now, before I go further, this particular segment, it just seems very odd to me. Because I remember reading that we should not make any gods or any graven images of a sort. Let me continue reading. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. Now I read this, and I know these are Israelites, but one thing that I see here, and it just kind of throws me off, and it says, break off the earrings off your sons. That's very odd. That tells me that while they were there, they started already breaking rules. They started disobeying. Let me continue. Verse 3. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with the graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be the gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Wow. Wow, did I read that right? What does it say here? These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. You remember how I said we were told not to do all this? And here they are. Okay, let me continue. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamations and said, Tomorrow is the feast to the Lord. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings. and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. Oh my gosh. They have corrupted themselves. What are they doing? Verse 8. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Come on, guys. Why? Like, I'm reading this, it's like, why would you guys do that? Like, we just went to Exodus 20, we were reading all the commandments and the things you should not do, and then you come and do this? Graven images, you're building golden calves. Oh, it's getting me hot. It's getting me hot. You know what? I just want to go back to Exodus 20 so that we could just reiterate and see exactly what I'm here talking about. Sorry, guys. Let me go. Exodus 20, verse 23. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. So I'm not going crazy here, right? I've read this correctly. I come back, Exodus 20, I'm reading it here. It says we should not do this, but we are here doing this. Come on, guys. This, from my understanding, this is what we call a spiritual sellout. The children of Israel did exactly what they were told not to do. They disobeyed the God of Israel. They betrayed him. Oh my gosh. Why? Why did we do this? After all the things that the God of Israel have done for us. You can only imagine how the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob must feel. He must feel hurt. He must feel sad. He must feel betrayed. Man, even me reading this right now, I feel hurt. Because why? What, like, I can only imagine, man, if we could only see and feel how the God of Israel might have felt. I'm sure it's not a good feeling. I'm going to give you another example. I would like for us to go to Numbers 16. And I'm going to read from verse 1 to 5. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the son of Eliab, and the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. So in this chapter that I'm reading here, this is separate from Exodus. I had to cool off from that and go on somewhere else. But what I want us to understand, that we've done this time and time again. So let me continue here. Sorry, I was at verse 2 now. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore, then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord? Now, it seems as if people are starting to go against Aaron and Moses. Why? I don't know. But like I said, betrayal always comes from within. These guys are Israelites, and they're conspiring against Moses and Aaron right now. They're questioning him and what they do and the instructions that are given. Verse 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. And he spoke unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show you who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him who he hath chosen will he choose to come near unto him. So, I'm reading this, and from reading this, I see that Dathan is going against Moses, right? He's coming up with accusations. He basically, you can see this even as hypocrisy, because he looks at him like, oh, you think you're better, you're doing all this and that. So he's saying, what are they saying? They're saying, oh, let's go unto the Lord. I'm going to read this verse again. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. I'm not going to read all of this, but let me fast forward to Numbers 16, verse 26, and I'll read on from there. Now, this is very important. I want you to understand, because through betrayal and through all the spiritual sellout, there are accusations, there is vanity, but there are also consequences. There's always going to be consequences of your actions. So you go home, you break a house rule, you might get beatings, you might get grounded, you might get your video games taken away from you. These are consequences. And I'm sure the God of Israel has consequences of his own. Okay. Verse 26. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, you know what? Let me go to 25 so you see who's talking. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, so this is Moses speaking, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed of all their sins. So they get up from the tabernacles of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that the Lord has sent me to all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up, with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave as under that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, with their house and with their men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed up them, and they perished from among the congregation. Remember when I was talking about consequences? Well, this is it right here. They had accusations, they had vanity, and now they have consequences. They conspired against Moses. They did not like the things that he was doing. They were very hypocritical, in fact. They wanted to be just like him in a way. Look what they did. They already got a bunch of other Israelites to come and conspire against Moses and Aaron and tell them how they're not this and they're not that and that they should follow them. And what do we have to do? We have to bring this to the Lord, right? We brought this to the God of Israel. The God of Israel sees the wrongs that they did, and he had to show them the consequences of their actions. And even then, he did it in front of the congregation so that they may see the consequences and that they may not follow. Brethren and guests, wherever you are, reading this Bible, we see stories time and time again where my people, the children of Israel, has betrayed. They're spiritual sellouts. They have disobeyed the God of Israel. And time again, the God of Israel, what did he do? Yes, he showed them consequences, but also he forgave them. The God of Israel forgave his people, but unfortunately, that did not stop us from doing it again. We betrayed him again and again and again. And because of our stubbornness, what happened? We were enslaved. We were put back into slavery. Didn't we not learn the first time? That's why I believe it is important. It is very, very important for us to remember the 400 years that we were enslaved. The 400 years that we were sent and we were below. We were the scum of the earth at one point. Why? Because of our betrayal. Because of our spiritual sellout. We did not follow instructions. We did not follow the commandments that were given unto us. We did not listen. Guys, we got to listen. We got to remember the 400 years. We got to reflect. We got to remember so that these things may not happen again. Because even now, yes, the 400 years are up, but we're still suffering. And I don't want to suffer anymore. And I'm sure you don't too. Brethren and guests, I hope that my lesson here today have given you something to think about. And before I end things, I also want to go to Proverbs 6. Let me read Proverbs 6. Just give me a minute here. And I'm going to start from verse 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandments, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind thine continually upon thy heart, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instructions are the way of life. And brethren, that is all that I have for you guys today. And I pray and I hope that what I said here today would allow you to go home and reflect and even understand the things that we do. And so that we must remember the 400 so that we don't make these same mistakes again that our forefather had made. Because you see the consequences. Thank you.
Hello, hope you're enjoying the program so far. We're excited you've joined us for today's event. If this is your first time, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to click the notification bell to be kept up to date with all the latest news. Also, take a second to like, comment, and share our videos. That's right, like, comment, and share our videos. We would really appreciate that. Also, we are really passionate about sharing our Israelite culture and would welcome your generosity in helping us to reach more people. So please feel free to leave us a donation. If you would like to learn more or are thinking about joining us, then please go ahead and fill out the form in the description box below, and a member of the Welcome Committee will be in contact. Thank you so much for your time, and I leave you with peace, love, truth, prosperity, and power.
Peace, brethren and guests. Welcome to a Saturday Live afternoon on our YouTube. My name is Issachar, Jacob, one of Jacob's sons, 12 tribes of Israel. I was named after him, for he is the 9th son of Jacob. I am like an ass crouching between two burdens, for that is my name's sake. For which is meaning that I am strong. I am strong here talking to you today. This is why Christ came for us. Romans 9, I say the truth in Christ. I lie not. My conscience also bear me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are the Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, God bless. Amen. My lesson will be talked about obedience versus disobedience. I'll be turning to Proverbs chapter 1 to dissect obedience versus disobedience. You might be wondering, what is a proverb? A proverb is a simple and insightful traditional saying that expresses a perceived truth based on common sense or experience. Proverbs are often metaphorical and use formulaic language. This is according to the Wikipedia. For an Israelite, the Proverbs is a book of wisdom, a book of instructions and obedience and disobedience. This is what I'll be talking about today. So may we all turn to Proverbs 1, chapter 1, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. Solomon was the wisest king to ever live, and still is. And he is the son of David. Verse 2. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. These are all the things that you will get out of you being obedient. You will have wisdom, instruction. You will know what to say when somebody comes up to you and asks you questions. For you are righteous and holy, and you are obedient to the Lord. Verse 4. To give substability to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. To understand what you are saying. To let the young man that doesn't know knowledge, to let him know what it means to be an Israelite, what it means to read this Bible. For some young men don't know the knowledge today in this Bible and can't understand it. You will let them understand. Even the words they don't understand, you will break it down and explain it to them. Because you are an Israelite. Verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. A wise man shall want to get wiser, shall want to learn and explore his culture. For you can be in Israel and be wise and know what the Bible is talking about. But do you understand the stories? Do you understand the little things in the stories that truly make it big? Do you understand? That is what the wise man wants to do. And he will listen to the counsel, no matter how tough they are on him. He will listen. Verse 6. To understand a proverb and the interpretation of the words of the wise and their dark saying. To understand these little riddles that you find. To understand what you are saying, who you are. To truly understand that. For you will understand the dark sayings in the Bible. And when God is angry, you will understand what he means. What he understands. And what he is talking about to you. Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You might not understand what that fear meant. That fear means the respecting of the Lord. The loyalty to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is when your righteous path comes in. That is when your knowledge starts to come in. That is when you truly understand who you are. Verse 8. My son, hear the instructions of thy father. Forsake not the law of thy mother. Don't forget what your father and mother have taught you, especially when you're going up on the street. You hear how that reconnects with the God of Israel? Don't forget his laws that he has taught you when you go out in the street. Don't let other people tell you who you are. Don't let the laws that he has on you rip off your body from other people. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. for you need to know who you are. Verse 9, for they shall be like an ornament of grace unto thy head, and a chain about thy neck. They shall be like a crown that you put on your head, for you are a king, you are a queen, and they shall be like a Solomon emblem that you put on your neck. To know who you are, those are symbols to know who you are. For people to respect you when you go out in the street. Verse 10, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If people tell you to come and do bad things with them, do you go and do it? Or do you think twice? The God of Abraham, Isaac is saying here to not go with them, to not go with the way of the wicked. For there is no outcome, there is no good outcome for you. Verse 11, if they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us wait for the innocent. Let us go and rob other people that we don't know. They could be having such a great day, and then evil and wicked people come and try to take things that are theirs. It is sad to see that we have to live in a generation like this with our own brothers and sisters that act like this, that act outrageously. Verse 12, let us swallow them up alive, as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all the precious substance, and we shall fill our homes with spoils. Let us go and rob people, the innocent, and let us fill our houses with things we don't even need, things we don't care about. Do you understand that? You don't need that, but you still went and did something wicked because you wanted to see a smile on your face? Do you think that is cool? We are just proving the point to those evil and wicked people outside, waiting for our downfall. We are proving them right, and we can't see it over our own ignorance. Don't follow them. In 12 it says just don't follow them, because I cannot pull you out of that pit when you go down into it. There is no coming back from that. Verse 14, cast thou lot among us, let us all have one purse. They will say, come, for I will share these precious things that we steal from innocents, so you can come and do bad things with them. Just to let you know, these are not just friends alone. They have a second spirit with them. A demon that is inside of them. And you could see it, but you don't know how to change because you don't want them to say, oh, you're weak. Oh, you're scared. You're not like us. Sometimes you have to let things go. You have to. Verse 15, my son, walk not thou in the way of them, refrain thy foot from their path. This is not just talking about your physical mother and father that is talking to you and saying, don't hang out with those bad crowds. Don't hang out with them. Yes, for that is them, but it's also the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Don't follow their ways. Don't walk in the way of the wicked. Why would you do that? Do you think that is what I want for you? Straight wickedness you're doing. And over what? To look cool? Do you think that makes you look cool? Verse 16. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. They like doing this. They do this for no reason. I always ask myself, when I see people like this, where are their parents? What do they tell their parents when they come back with these things? What do they tell them? They like shedding blood. They run quick to evil. They don't understand the way of righteous. They don't want to. 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood, and they lurk privily for their own lives. They don't care who they catch. They don't care how old the person is. Because they see gold and silver on them, they will go and get it. And they will tell you, come with us, for we will share it with you. But that is not just them talking. Remember that. They spread the net for any bird, which means they don't care. Like I said, they do not care who they catch. They do not care who it is. And they wait and look privily for them. We wait and they lurk. And they wait until they're alone in the dark where their parents can't find or seek them. And they take what is not theirs and fill their houses with spoils, with things they don't even need, with things that don't even hold value to them. But they smile and they want to do it again. Verse 19. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of their owners thereof. We can explain this by some famous people we see today, on the news, on social media. Their parents might have died, or parents might have died over this and that. And then in the next couple of days, you see that they blow up, or they're in hit movies, or they're being recognized on the street. We don't know. Who knows? Verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of conquerors, and openings of the gates in the city. She uttereth her voice, saying. This is wisdom talking. Saying, when will ye just listen to me? It is just saying here that she crieth out for you, the righteous woman, instead of the woman that you see on the street, the other woman that lurks evil and waits for you and calls on you. Remember that you are the chosen one, a child of Israel, the God of Israel's child. "22. How long will these simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in scorning, and fools hate knowledge? How long will these sinners sin? How long will these bad people do bad? When will ye turn to me? When will you hear me out? Hear that I love you and I am here for you. The wicked will not be there for you in your times of need. When your time cometh, the wicked will not be there for you. Verse 23. Turn at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my soul, my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Do you understand that? Do you understand what the Lord is saying? Turn to me when I am talking to you. For I am your Father, and I'm doing this out of love. We need to all see that He is here for us. And when we see that He is pouring His soul and heart and spirit into us, what I mean by that is He'll bless us. He'll provide knowledge and wisdom with us and provide understandings. Take for an example our elder. He listened to the word of God. And now that I am here, I can tell the difference between Jesus and the Christ. I can tell the difference. For he listened. And the true Sabbath day I know of. There is so much black youth out there that don't know who they are. That don't know what their identity is. But I am here today knowing my identity, knowing who I am and who I serve. I'd want you guys to remember what I am saying to you. To remember the word of God. To remember what the Proverbs talk about. For it is hard to understand these Proverbs. But so many of us will explain it to you and let you understand. So you can go and tell this to your friends or your family at home. For they know the truth too. Verse 24. Because I have called, and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. Now that I have called upon you, and you didn't want to listen to me, I have gave you everything, and you didn't care. I have stretched out my hand and tried to help you, and you didn't understand, and you didn't want to acknowledge me. Verse 25, but ye have set a naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. You would not listen to Moses, our counselors. You would not listen to David. You would not listen to Samuel. You would not listen to any of them. 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. I will mock you when your day has come, when your judgment is now here. I will laugh because you didn't want to call upon our Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When your fear cometh, and desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they cry upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but you will not find me. When your time comes, when your punishment comes, because you chose the way of the wicked, you chose the path of the wicked, of the evil, then will you want to pray to me, and then will you not hear me? For I heard you, and I cried out to you, and you have not listened to me, I will not listen to you. The God of Israel puts in his 100% of the relationship, and we can't just barely put in 1%? Why is that? Oh, because we can't see him? Look at all the demonstrations that he has showed us throughout people that we can see, and we still refuse to understand the knowledge. When will we learn? "29. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord." They hated what I said. They did not want to listen to me when I called upon them. They thought this book was boring and there was no fun in it, because we had rules to go by and we had to live a certain way than other people. We did not listen. Verse 30. They were none of my counsel. They despise on my reproof. They would not listen to our counsel. Like I said, David and Moses and Samuel, they did not listen. They would not listen. And they tied the knot. And they blocked us out. Verse 31. Therefore shall they eat of the fruits of their own way and be filled with their own device. Then, that is when your punishment comes in. That is when you will get what you deserve. Because you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to hear him when he called upon you. You did not. We need to truly understand why we are here on this earth. We are not on this earth just to live. We have a mission to do, a job to get done, a job to complete, and it needs to get completed. Verse 32. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperities of fools shall destroy them. They shall be slain, and nobody will help them. Nobody. Verse 33. But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from evil, from the fear of evil. They that hearken unto me, that hear me, that acknowledge the words and understanding, that know my ways, that respect me, then I will save them from the evil and wickedness that shall come. May we please move to chapter 2 of Proverbs. This is the reward of wisdom, the reward of what you truly get when you obey the word of God. My son, if thou wilt receive my word and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thy ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. If you understand my knowledge, my wisdom, this is what it's talking about in these 2 verses. If you understand it. 3, verse 3. Ye, if thou criest after knowledge, and lifteth up thy voice from understanding, if thou seeketh her as silvers and treasures, for her as the third treasure. Sorry, let me say that again. For if thou seekest her as silver, and searcheth for her for hid treasures. My mom always told me that I wish you can put more time into your schoolwork, just how you do in this phone. That's what God is telling us. To put more time, just how you want to find, and you have the passion to find these hidden treasures. Go and read the Bible just like that. This will be for you in the end. This will help you in the end when your time comes. 5. Then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find knowledge of God. That is what you will get. These are everything that you will get out of you listening to the Lord. Verse 6. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He giveth knowledge. He giveth truth. He giveth understandings to learn and to have that passion for, to go and find out more things about who you are. He will make you understand that. You just have to put in the part of your relationship. You're 100% in the relationship with the Lord. Verse 7. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. To the people that you see that are strong in the Bible, he was there for them in their times of needs. He was always there for them. And he will be there for you just as much. If you call upon his name, if you ask him for forgiveness, and if you acknowledge his word, he will be there for you. And he will be like a buckler to you and make you upright. Verse 8. He keepeth the paths of judgment and perceiveth the way of his saints. He will make sure your path is clean. He will make sure that you are known, that you have holy saints that are helping you and guiding you throughout this world. We truly need to understand who we are. We truly need to understand this Bible. Verse 9. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, ye every good path. Like I said in verse 2 and 3. You will understand wisdom. You will understand knowledge. And you'll be pure. You will know who you're serving and who he is to you. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, when you entereth this home, when you walk through those doors, and you entereth the home of the Lord, then that is when your path will truly come in. Then that is when your clear path and your righteous path will move forward. 11. Discretion shall perceive thee, understanding shall keep thee. 12. To deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things. He will deliver you, and he will make that man that tries to expose you, he will make that man know who you are. He will truly help you in your times of need. Don't you just see the beauty in this book and these 2 chapters and what they talk about? And how they talk about the disobedience and obedience, you truly need to understand who you are, who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the forwardness of the wicked. The ones that will like to do evil, that leave this path to do wickedness, to be one of those people you see on the street that think they act tough, your time will come and your judgment will come. For you left the truth behind for this life that doesn't mean anything, and it just leads to death. Death upon deaths of your brothers and sisters. Do you understand that? Do you understand that we need to stick together? Verse 15. Whose ways are crooked, and the forward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words. To deliver you from that woman that wants to take over you with her flattering words. Do we need to understand this earth? Do we need to know our roles that we play? We do. We need to understand this Bible. We need to ask questions and find the truth to understand who we truly are and what we truly mean. In verse 16, and it talks about the woman and how she tries to flatter with you and pull you in to the evil ways and mind control you. Would you like that to happen? Just because she is beautiful in the way she looks and stands? Or will you find an upright woman who is there for you always and will give you good advice? Verse 17, which forsaketh the guide of her youth and forgetteth the covenant of her God. For her house is inclined unto death, and her path unto death. She will lead you into death. She will lead you into places you don't know. And when you go into her house and you enter it, you will not come back out. For you are swallowed into the pit, and I cannot reach out to grab you. For you didn't want to listen to me in the start. When I cherished you, when I loved you, when I told you this is what you need. "19. None that go unto her return again, neither take hold of the path of life." Like I said, you do not come out again. When you go into her home and you entereth and she shows you all these things and she makes herself look nice and pretty and she has bad intentions in her heart and is waiting for you to fall. Like I already said, this is not just a woman that is there, but it is a demon. Remember that. Remember that there is always something out to get you. And you might not like that, but that is the outcome of truth. That is the outcome of your understanding and knowledge. That shows how powerful you are. that thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the path of the righteous. You need to walk in a true path. You need to understand what you're doing. Walk in that righteous path. Walk into it. For you might be scared, for you cannot see. But when you walk through that wall, you will understand who you are and who you're supposed to serve. Wow, man. This is just a great scripture that we are reading today. Verse 21. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. The perfect shall remain in it. Do you understand what that means? Do you understand what that means? You need to be upright. You need to know the ways of the wise. You need to go to your counsel and ask them, what is this truth? Ask them. Do not be shy to ask for the truth. To ask for the truth, do not be shy. Fight for it, because that is what we are doing today. That's what we have to do today to make sure that we make it to our righteous path, that we make it to paradise. Verse 22. But the wicked shall be cut off from thy earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. They shall not be here. When your and their time comes, and you're obedient and they're disobedient, their time will come. Their punishment will come. And you will be on my side, the side of righteousness, the side of knowledge, the side of wisdom, the side of obedience. Remember who you are, for you are an Israelite, chosen by the true and living God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Do you see how chapter 1 and chapter 2 talks about the obedience and disobedience? Truth versus evil? The good versus the bad? We truly need to understand who and what we are fighting for and with. This world's not just about politics and all these upright presidents. Because that, when their time comes, that will not be any use to them. This world is truly about this Bible, and they try to hide it today and confuse your minds with other words. They try to hide the truth, but they can't. But they hide it enough where we can't see truly. It is right in our face, but we can't understand. And that is why I and we are here to make you understand who you are. At the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. I will read just a little bit of chapter 3. For this is a beautiful chapters that I am reading to you, and I hope you got a lot out of it. My son, forget not my law, but let thine ear keep my commandments. Do not forget thy commandments that he has given to you. Don't forget them. If you understand this, if you understand this knowledge, this upright commandments and law statutes that the Lord has given you, Then will long lives come to you. Then will you understand my word. Verse 3. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Blind them about thy neck. Write them upon thy table of thine heart. Make sure you have your pen and notes to understand what you are saying or what you are being taught. Don't let them confuse you. Don't let the words confuse you. For they are just words and you need to break them down. You need to understand. Verse 4. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. So we shall find a good place and let people be proud of us when we understand the truth. Let Elder be proud of me, him as a man. Let him be proud of me when I understand something. Or let God be proud of me and give me blessings when I understand what he has taught me. When I understand to be humble, to be righteous, to know the path that I have been chosen and I have been put into. Verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and learn not unto thy own understanding. Know what he is saying. Know that he is there for you. And remember that he will always be here for you. And he will redirect you when you're doing your wrongs and your rights. And so will your parents. This doesn't just talk about your parents. This talks about your Father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because he is your parent. And you are his son and daughter. You are his child that is supposed to be writing this down. Think of Proverbs as that. As your parents talking to you about this world, about what is in it, about how you need to listen to them when you're going out. Think of it as that. Remember who you are. This is a battle of obedience versus disobedience. Verse 7, but not wise in thine own ears. But not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. That verse always gets me. Don't just look at something and you think you know and you understand. Don't just look at something and say, oh, I can judge that person by the way he looks. Don't do that. Fear the Lord. Know what he is saying to you. Humble yourself when you're on the street. For you don't know which bad and good spirits are around you. But you know that the good ones are protecting you and the bad ones are out to find you. Verse 8, it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. It shall be like healing when you get a scratch, right? Imagine you're on a scooter as a little child. Me, I always like going outside in summer. Imagine you just got a scratch and your parents come and say, don't do that, don't do this. For that is not like you. That is not for you to do. It is not your time to go there. It's pretty dangerous where you're going. And I don't know if you can step into that path yet. So they give you a bandage or some healing oils that feel so good. That's how you can interpret this. That's how you need to interpret this. Verse 9. Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. so shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy possessors shall burst out with new wine. Then will your crops be wealthy. You know what my mom always told me? That wisdom and knowledge is more richer than silvers and golds. And I finally understand that. You get money today and you feel so good. Yeah, it's money. You get to eat out. But the wisdom that you have, nobody can buy. Nobody can buy this wisdom that you have, that you can't cherish in your soul, that God has put inside of you and you have to carry throughout the ways that you live. That is why he put you on this earth, to see how you live with the knowledge that he has given to you. Not just that, but he wants to see more out of you. He wants you to go and teach his doctrine. He wants you to go and big up him, not just him, but yourself. Big up yourself, right? Remember who you are. Such a beautiful verse to read. These are truly the rewards of wisdom. These are the rewards of the righteous path. These are the rewards of knowledge and wisdom. 11. Hear this. Verse 11, chapter 3. My son, despise not thy chastening. For the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. Don't question me. Do not question the Lord when he is talking to you, when he is making you right. Don't question it. He knows what's best for you. He sees you every day. Who do you think gave you the eyes to see? Who do you think gave you the ears to hear? Who do you think gave you the tongue to speak? Who do you think gave you this passion and this courage that you go and scream out loud that you are an Israelite, a true Israelite? Who do you think gave you that? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And he has also given me a chance on this earth to know who I am, to understand who I am. And for that, I am so grateful. To my counsel, to my elder, and to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father, the son in the whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. I feel so good when I finally get told that I did something good. Sometimes I'm just like, it was not enough. But they still tell me that it was good so they can push me to go harder, so they can push me to practice even more. And I thank everybody for that tough love that I am given, that I receive, because that is how I will change, by the comments that you give off. By the comments you give off. Should I read 13 again? Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. He is happy when he finally gets to know it. When you finally understand a Bible chapter and a verse, you need to be some type of powerful person. Or do you think that is God calling upon you to come to his home? That is God calling upon you to come back to him. This nation is not just for everyone. This is private, but we are here teaching you today. The ones that want to seek knowledge, the ones that want to learn, the ones that want to obey the laws, statutes, and commandments. We are here to teach them. But the ones that disobey, the ones that don't want to learn, the ones that are quick for evil, that run haste to shed blood? We don't teach them. We try. We try so hard, but they are ignorant to see that they are not right. Some cultures today try to fight with us to say that we're not right, or they try to copy us to say that we're not right. And you see how strong we are that they have to copy us for them to look upright? Excuse me? Who do you think you are to copy my culture? Who do you think you are to wear to carry the Solomon emblem on your chest? Who are you? You are not a king. You are not a queen. You will be one when you walk through those doors, when you understand the word of the Lord, the word of the righteous. Like I said, that is when your path will be chosen for you. That is when your righteous path will come in. This was such a great Bible scriptures that we went over today. I thank you for hearing me out and teaching me the ways of obedience and disobedience. And I thank you for letting me teach you too. May you like, comment, and subscribe. May you share and turn on the notifications. Peace, brethren.
Thank you.